What's going on?
Well, I'm currently surrounded by all of the things that were in my office. So let's give a little show and tell. Here's Detective Pikachu.
Pikachu!
This is a popular one.
Interesting. I like it.
I had a kid be like, "Can I have him?" And I was like, no. Absolutely.
Wait, give some context for the listeners.
Oh, listeners, I got a new job, so I am done with the old, starting up the new, but I have a lot of stuff.
And you guys may not believe this, but we don't only podcast, even though, millions listen to this. We haven't really figured out how to take the ad money and profit accordingly, so we have to have other jobs, and as long as you keep promoting it, maybe we'll then get to quit those jobs.
Yeah, I'm squeezing my stress ball fox, because God, I wish I could just podcast for income, but it's okay, it's all good, everything's wonderful.
But you're moving on, Kate, it's a new day, it's a new chapter, it's almost like, a remake of an old movie to a new one.
Oh, it is. Will I start my new job busting out into song? Maybe.
You fucking better.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the coffee tastes like that morning before we do that.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Sisters!
Hello, Salem. My name's Katie. What's up? She doesn't really say that in this one, though. Wait, does she? I don't remember. I blacked out. We'll have to see what my notes say, because this isn't as in my brain as the first one.
We didn't talk about this, but I have some opinions.
It's okay to have opinions, because I too have opinions, and we're both drinking wine, and that's a good combination of things happening. But, Bridge, let me introduce ourselves so the listeners know who these sisters are. So, listeners, we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And I want to say the same thing I said already, but I don't want to say that, so let me find something different. Alright, I don't have any quotes, but what I will say is this book was emotional.
This who?
The book? Book had some feelings.
What book?
Bridget, the book in the movie.
Oh!
He's like a main character now.
I thought you meant you read the book, Hocus Pocus. I was like, there's a book?
No, I don't do that much research. Come on. Bridge, this is our nostalgic happy hour, and what is our pick this week?
This is Hocus Pocus 2 with the original cast.
With some but the main Sanderson Sisters original characters are there. Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy, Bette Midler. And I'll tell you this, Kate, and I'm going to tell you one thing. What is the award where the movie is so bad? What's that called? The Razzies?
Okay, this is what I want to happen. I want this movie to get a Razzie.
Oh.
And equally, Bette Midler get an Oscar.
Hey, I like that. Okay.
That's all I have to say. I think that's about it for this episode.
I think you need to say more because we literally just started. So let's use more words. But yeah.
It's your turn to do the synopsis.
Well, okay, I'm gonna have to use my memory banks because I think I watched this like a week ago. It's been a while. Usually I watch it like 40 minutes before or something. So we start off in, I think, I didn't write it down, but I'm guessing the like 1600s. We're in Salem. This is the only location we were in. And this is a cold open, which the first movie did. We love cold opens.
Love them.
But we have a CGI landscape landscape. It's Salem. And so you're thinking, oh, I guess this is gonna be like the witches, whatever. But Bridge, it's not the adult witches. It's the children witches. Oh, 1693. Thank you. The witches are children. Okay, so they're kids, and they're like...
Wait, how old do we think they are?
So I think Winifred, she said she was 16.
They felt like they were 11 to me.
The other ones I think were younger.
Okay.
I don't know how young. But I was like, she seems okay.
Okay.
Like a 16-year-old. But we basically get introduced to them, and I don't know, they're pretty similar to how they are as adults. They're not like full-on witches now. They're just like normal kids who like spooky things. And I guess they're orphans, and I don't know if I blacked out or what was happening, but I'm not really sure why they're orphans, but...
Disney, that's why.
Yeah, there's no healthy families in Disney, so that's why. But it starts off where Winifred's like, oh my god, the pastor wants me to marry his son, and like, fuck that, basically. And then it's this whole hoop-de-doo shenanigans, and then they end up running into the spoopy woods, and then they meet a real witch lady, I think, who was also a bird, and now she's a witch. And for...
Famous character from Ted Lasso, Hannah Waddington.
Oh, I don't watch that.
People would see her and recognize her. She was great. She's
good.
She was really good in this movie.
3-minute cameo, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She, for whatever reason, says, you know what, Winnie? We need to give you this fucking book, because plot. So here's a book. And have a bunch of fun with that. And then they're like, wee! We were booked now. And then they're witches. And you're like, okay, I guess that's the witches. Backstory, got it.
I know we're supposed to...
Yeah.
I know we're supposed to wait to talk about it, but I want to put a pin in a conversation to have with you on natural witches versus did the book make them like witches after the fact. And let's just come back to that.
Okay, so we're in modern day Salem. Don't forget it. Okay, if you get any question right in trivia, it better be where the location of Hocus Pocus is.
Oh my god, yes. Like they like drink every time they say Salem.
Blah, yeah. So it's modern day, and it's like modern day, guys, not 90s modern day. There's no tie-dye shirts. There is no ice.
Thora Birch. No one's stealing your shoes.
There's no kids hanging out in the graveyard. It's upsetting, but I'll get over it. So we meet, I guess, our main character. Holy fuck, I didn't write her name down. Is it Cassie?
Becca.
Oh shit, it's Becca. Who's Cassie? Is she the friend that...
Cassie's the friend that gets kidnapped that they have a little bit of a tiff with, but Becca, played by Whitney Peak, she's the main one.
Yes. So Becca, it's like, it's my birthday and I'm 16 and we always do our birthday tradition, which is to go into the woods and we do like witchcraft, but like it's like not real, but it's like for fun. And so it's her, and then, oh gee, I gotta pull up the IMDb. I don't know. These freaking people. Not Thora
How
Birch.
long ago did you watch it?
It was like a week. Bridge was far away.
Oh God, Kate.
Hocus Pocus 2. Who was the friend? Her friend.
Izzy?
Okay, Izzy. Yes. Okay. So her and Izzy are like, yeah, we're gonna go do that. Man, we miss Cassie, who was our third friend. But Cassie has a boyfriend because now it's a CW drama. And I didn't know that's what I was gonna watch, but that's what I started to watch. So fucking fine. And it's also Halloween because Halloween. It's Hocus Pocus. It's Salem. Duh. So they also, as part of their, I don't know, tradition or whatever, they go to this witch store, which Bridge, we're gonna put another pin in, because we gotta talk about this witch store.
It
okay?
is not as cool as my witch store.
No, we all know that.
Okay.
Absolutely. But they go there, and the owner, whose name is... Glenn. No.
Gilbert, so Kate. Did you watch
Gilbert.
the movie?
I did watch the movie! I'm so sorry. Okay, Gilbert owns this witch store, and he's all into the Sanderson Sisters, and you're like, what fucking ever? I know about Thora Birch and Binks the Cat. Don't even try to school me, please. And he's like, hey, Becca, it's your birthday. Here's a birthday candle on me. And it's this, like, ugly-ass candle. And if I were Becca, I would have been like, I'm good, but thanks. So then they go off to the woods. Cassie's not with them. It's just these two. And they're like, all right, let's light this fucking weird-ass candle shit and do what we normally do. And then, yay, that's it, and happy birthday. I don't know. Is there cake? We don't know. And lo and behold, Bridge, this fucking candle is a new, I guess, black flame candle. And she's a virgin, I guess. And then the witches, I guess, come back. And the first thing I said was, they better fucking sing a song quickly, or I'm gonna be upset. And thank God they knew what the audience wanted. And they just started singing. I couldn't tell you what the song sounds like, but all they did was sing it.
If anyone wants to know what it's like to have a mother that sings, it's this scene right here.
Yes. So then the girls are like, holy shit, it's the Sanderson Sisters. We're fucked. And then the Sanderson Sisters like, oh, children, yay, let's eat them. But then the girls basically are like, actually, we're not children. We're witches. And we're gonna like show you how to get like powerful stuff because you don't even gotta do all that old stuff anymore. Times have changed. And then they're like, wow. And they go to a Walgreens or CVS.
Been bamboozled by the healthcare industry once again.
Now it's a product placement, yeah. And then, yeah, I mean, basically the movie from there is their goal is no longer to kill children. It's instead to become all powerful because there's a super evil spell in the book. So they go and get Book. Book has a lot of fucking feelings. We're going to need to talk about Book needs to see a therapist.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Book's sensitive.
Number two, the mayor of this town is Cassie's dad, and he apparently is related to the minister that was gonna make Winnie marry the son and the weird shit. So then that's a whole fucking thing. Gilbert is a fucking narc or whatever. And he's like, yeah, witches, I'm gonna work with you. And they're like, yeah, because we're gonna kill you. And you're like, what? Billy the Zombie's there because. And then, yeah, and then Bridge, because I think I'm at the end. In the end, we learn that, you know, it's not about murdering people and being powerful. It's about who's next to you when you murder people.
No, Kate. Oh, it's about your sisters.
Well, that's kind of
your coven.
You? Oh, okay. The coven.
Your sisters
yes.
who've seen it. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Sisters who've seen it. Product placement was in Hocus Pocus too. If you guys missed it, you'll have to look again. Yeah. And then, Becca's like a real witch too, I think. And then everything's happy and no one dies because we're all happy. And yep, that's the movie. Thanks. It's just yeah.
All right. Full disclosure.
Give me the real
I
talk.
watched this movie last night, and as you know, true listeners, I didn't pay for this movie.
She didn't. We made sure of it.
However, I bothered Katie on her final day of work, where she was tired and stressed. And I said, oh my God, I'm logging into this, and it has asked for a password sent to my email, which is not my email, it's your email. And in that delay of texting, you eventually got back, and I started this movie late, and Kate, I fell asleep mid-movie.
Uh-oh, what'd you miss? You don't even know. It doesn't matter.
Don't worry. Then the next day, I watched it, and I caught up to speed. And I have two opinions of this movie. When I watched it tired at night, I was a little bit of a hater.
Well,
when I watched it in the morning, fresh-eyed, or not in the morning, the next day, fresh-eyed, I liked it.
All right.
So I'm conflicted, and I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah, I think I feel the same. I mean, so I loved the opening, even though, like, sure, that's a cliche, fine, we're going back to when they're children. I think this child Winifred should also get an Oscar nomination because I thought she was amazing.
Whoa.
Oh, you didn't like her?
Put a line in the sand. This is a definitive moment. I thought she was terrible.
What? I thought she was so good.
Katie likes a child actor and I don't.
Well,
there is a spell happening right now and it is Book's fault and I am absolutely being Catherine from Schitt's Creek.
Why did you hate her? I thought she was great.
Felt like, okay, here was my frustration with this movie. I was so excited in the beginning that there was like new plot. We got to go back in time and see them.
Yeah.
But I felt like they were just carbon copies of like who they are later in life. And I get it. People have personalities and you want them to match. But I felt like it was kids playing adults, and I wanted them to just be like the kid version of them. For example, her like wild buck teeth. I mean,
Bridget, no braces in 1600 Salem. What do you want?
I mean, but it was like so over the top. Her hairstyle. You're telling me she's got the same freaking hairstyle since she's 16?
Well, that is.
I wanted a little bit more like I have multiple facets to my personality, and then you'll see little pieces of like Winifred. Not I am going to play Winifred perfectly, because if she was going to get an award for doing that, she gets the Oscar too. However, I came in with different expectations.
Well, I'm gonna defend her because I thought she was fucking rad. I mean, she storms through the town, and this is probably the part that I laughed the fucking hardest at, and I clearly didn't write it down, but I distinctly remember she's like stomping, and you don't know who it is, but you're kind of assuming, oh, probably whatever. And some fucking old lady walks out of her house, and she literally walks out, and she gets like whooshed past because of the stomping, and then the lady in the same breath turns immediately around, goes back in the house, and she goes, well, that's enough for me today.
I did like that part. I did like that part.
All right. But then that was like the biggest laugh I got, and I was like, damn it, that was like the first minute. I just thought it was, I don't know, kind of funny just to see her being like that, but as like a 16-year-old. I also feel like 16-year-olds are fucking angsty. Like, if we had saw the kids first, like flip-flop, right? Like, we never knew who the sisters were, and this is the first thing we're seeing of them. Like, I don't know. I think you might feel differently, but
I was just gonna say, I agree with the acting. Maybe I disagree with like the writing and character.
Right.
Because I was so, like, watching the movie, I was so excited to get something new. And then, now this is the pin, Kate. I'm taking the pin off. Okay. I thought they'd be natural witches. I was severely disappointed to learn that they are not from the Craft episode blah, blah, bleedy blah, natural witches. They are manufactured witches from Ted Lasso's character in the woods.
But do you think like they were trying to allude to that, but they did a terrible job? Because I feel like the crow lady was like, oh man, there's something special about you. Here you go, take this book. Like, I kind of was like, but like, is that she does have powers, but she doesn't know yet because she just turned 16? Because we learn later in the movie that 16 is where you develop your powers. So is it like that's what they were trying to go for and they just didn't fucking do it?
I would have dug that a little more.
I think that's what they were trying, but
okay, because I was like so sad. I was like, wait, so like everything's about Book?
Bridget, Book is a big fucking character in this movie. Book had his own trailer on the lot, okay?
Did they have like extra characters that bailed last minute and they were like, Buck, we gotta make this inanimate object real important? Wait, we gotta go back a little bit.
Okay.
There are two awesome characters from the show Veep. Do you ever watch Veep?
Oh, well, it's the guy, I don't know his name, but he was on Arrested Development. That's what I feel like I know him from that.
Okay, probably most people know him from that, but he's also in Veep. That's Tony Hale, who was the mayor.
Yes. I didn't realize that was the same actor, and then they were like,
oh, you didn't?
They were like, he looks the same, and I was like, really? I don't know. Maybe his wig was like a little intense as a minister, so I blacked out.
Well, and then also Sam Richardson, who's Gilbert, is also in Veep.
Oh.
And he plays like the funniest character. I'm trying to remember his name. Yes, Richard Splett. In Veep, he was always like in the political circles where like he always would say like really silly, dumb stuff, but no one ever bothered him. Where like every other character in Veep, like they were so mean to each other and they'd have hurt feelings. And he literally was like never offended and they would all get so mad about it. And I thought he was gonna kind of do a little bit of that. And I don't know, I felt like his character was like a little off because I was like, if you're gonna be a fangirl for the Sanderson sisters, I want you to go all in. He was kind of like half in.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about him when we get to that part.
Okay, so we're seeing them as sisters, and we're seeing the fact that they're literally like carbon copies of who they are as adults. And we're realizing that because they're in 1693, they're forcing Winifred to get married, and she doesn't want to, which, by the way, I was digging that. I was like, girl, don't get married. So They run into the spooky woods, and this is where they meet the witch, because no one's supposed to go in the spooky woods, but they're like, fuck it. I mean, getting married is worse, so like, let's get to the magical woods.
Sprint into the woods anytime you get like proposed to, guys. Come on.
Sometimes when you don't know what to do when you're getting proposed, just find the nearest woods and run straight for it.
I did think it was funny too that then they were like, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to burn down the minister's house. And that reminded me of Addams Family, where Morticia was talking about their great aunt, whatever, who kidnapped a minister. It's like, oh, I love that. That's great.
That movie's so good.
Kind of just ends there. Oh, and then there is a part where Winnie is like the minister comes to their little house, their orphan fucking house. I don't know. And he's like, you gotta marry my son. And then she's like, I don't want him. He sucks. And then she's like, I'm gonna marry Billy. And this is young Billy Butcherson. And then this is a fucking another CW subplot nonsense.
I'm so surprised you have not mentioned, and I'm gonna do it, Degrassi at this point.
Whatever
because
ooh, no, I can make it through. Ooh, burning books. Yeah. If the minister comes to your house, gonna curse him out. Ooh. I'm so sorry. I could keep going, but I'll stop.
All I kept thinking of is I probably have a similar Dawson's Creek moment, but I will stop. I feel like this entire movie was like trying to do Me Too movement for Billy Butcherson.
Yeah, it was a little too much.
And I just felt like, wait, pick a lane. Because right now we're talking about a young woman who doesn't want to get married, so she becomes a witch and runs to the woods. But equally, we're supposed to say, you know what, that Billy, he got kissed, which was consensual. Thank you.
Right.
And then he decided he was really pissed because he wanted to date other people, but then Winifred was way too into him, and he just got, his name has been shamed. And in my mind, I'm thinking, Billy, nobody knows you without Winifred. So I think you should take a pause. And I thought, like, I just kept writing justice for Billy Butcherson, and I thought, Disney, what's the point? And all I kept thinking about is, like, some dumb intern at Disney writing was like, you know what would be funny, bros? And, like, Billy Butcherson, like, a side story.
See, this was, instead of a Bob moment, this was a Billy moment. This is young Bob, or Bobby moment.
Butcher this moment.
Literally, I was like, did we as an audience ask for this? Cause,
we didn't. I
think it's whatever you gave them was fine, but whatever. So now they have book, and now they're witches, and now they're life, and now, Bridge, it's modern day, and the first thing I write is, I don't know, it's this girl's birthday, and there's an awkward conversation. That's the first thing I wrote. That ain't good.
I felt like, first of all, I couldn't understand their ages, and then quickly I was like, okay, high school, I'm tracking. But I felt like I didn't realize until later they were, like, trying to mimic the Sanderson Sisters, like, trio with this friend group. And I felt like right away, I was like, all right, someone's got fucking beef with this girl because she's got a boyfriend. I was like,
lame.
Okay.
Fucking lame.
Listen, as the great Mary J. Blige says, love is blind. Okay?
Wow.
However,
so does Nick Lachey. So too.
However, we learned that Cassie, who is the ostracized friend, felt like she got ditched. So I was like, even this isn't clear, and I don't know why we're even fighting, because it's Halloween.
This is like some of the bullshit conversations I have with children, where I'm like, well, did Susie say that, or are you just assuming? What about you, Tiffany? What do you think? Like, that's what it felt like.
Wait, does every name end with an E?
No. I was trying to think of names of children that don't exist in my life, so.
Okay.
I hated it. I thought it was so stupid. And then the boyfriend was, like, really dumb, but, like, not funny, and I was like, okay, this is so dumb. And so then Cassie's throwing a Halloween party, and that's like crazy because her dad's like the mayor. Also, like, that's a little bold. She throwing a Halloween party, and dad's like not away on business. He's just like in the town hanging out or some weird shit. Like, what?
Let's just state a fact. Okay, Disney, it's 2022. Why can't children have mothers? It's 2022. Why can't children
They didn't even talk about it.
Mothers!
Ever. Like, there was never even a conversation.
Where are the people bringing bringing the kids to the movie. Why can't we have mothers, Disney? I felt like the only person they acknowledged was the mayor, and I just didn't understand why we didn't know any of the parents. I was so annoyed, and I feel maybe I'm sensitive because I'm a new parent, but what the frig, Kate? Huh? What the frig?
I don't know. That would have been cool if they had the crow lady witch, like the same actress was like the mom, and like
that would be awesome.
Ooh, is there like a connection? But like maybe there wasn't, because the writing was like it was rough.
It was rough, and I agree with you. I was like, okay, this is ballsy. Also, like, I know you're in a tiff with your friends, but like, Cassie, I feel like you're in the wrong. Invite your friends to a party. Like, how rude.
She did invite them, but they were like, we're going to the woods, and I was like, why?
No, but she invited them after the fact.
But they invited her after the fact. Bridge, I'm having PTSD flashbacks of the relational aggression. We can't get into it. They're all wrong.
Actually, no,
they are all fucking wrong.
But wait. So what we've learned is Cassie's having a party with everybody. She's kind of wild with the mayor, and the other girls are gonna go into the woods and do some craft-like seance. Okay,
with a weird candle.
Okay,
yes.
Can we talk about the details of this candle? Because when they met Gilbert in the store, and he's like, "Hey, bro, I'm just doing a magic show about the Sanderson Sisters."
He was wearing like the cap that has like the tassel on it, and I was like, "Is this how the witch community wants to be represented?" Because we have connections, so I don't know about it.
Again, I was very mad at his character because I was like, in Veep, he would have been perfect to play the aloof witch owner of the store, where he didn't really realize that he's bringing back the witches, even though that's his job. Because, like, that's his, like, epic Veep character. However, he's supposed to be, like, a serial fanboy, if you will. And I felt like he just did it weird. Like, he wasn't, like, real. He wasn't a real Wiccan, Kate.
Yeah, he was, like, a character of a Wiccan. Yeah, I didn't like that.
That candle. Am I a child? Did it remind you of anything?
It was inappropriate.
Okay.
The bend in it was not okay.
When they were like, "What's this present?" I was like, "Oh no, I'm bad. I have bad thoughts right now."
Don't look it in the eye. Oh God. Yeah, I didn't like it. Didn't like how it came from an adult male. Didn't like how we're giving free presents to children underage. Didn't like it. Phallic symbols, don't like it.
All I wanted was the store owner from the Craft movie to show up with like the wind blowing in her hair and to be like, no, you shall not take this candle.
Be like, this is a bunch of bullshit. Okay, here's what I have to say about this plot, I guess, if we want to call it that. So they obviously later then they go to whatever, they find out it's bad and it's the Black Flame candle. They state, they're like, yeah, we do this every year. He's like, oh yeah, the birthday tradition. Why didn't he ever give them the candle before? Like when they were like 8-year-olds or
Excellent
whatever.
question.
I kind of was like, why now, Gilbert? Huh? Let me know, okay?
And by the way, the older she gets, the less likely she'll be a virgin.
Well, and it's just... And then they were like, Gilbert, why didn't you light it? And he's like, oh, well, I'm like not a virgin. I was like, ew, again, another like CW writing. I hate it. That's so weird. Don't talk about it. God.
Well, what did the one kid was like, what's a virgin? And then what did he say? He was like,
oh my God. Wait till I write it.
He wrote like,
oh, he goes, it's someone who's never lit a candle, which is also kind of funny.
I do love that. But I thought, okay, we're moving on. And
wait. He also has book in jail.
Oh my God, I wrote Hannibal Lecter is book. Book is Hannibal Lecter.
Like, if you do a side-by-side of those two, I can't tell the difference.
Wait,
like,
but Kate, let's, like, discuss this, okay? Hannibal Lecter book. All of the straps are there, okay? The moment the book opens his eyes, Gilbert's like, oh my God, you're awake! And he runs to it and immediately takes off the straps. I'm like, I'm confused on the point of the straps if we automatically take them off.
For, like, flair?
I was just gonna, that's what I mean. Like, they could have done such a better job of, like, kind of showing, like, Wizard of Oz behind the scene that he's, like, trying to make things more intense than they are. And it was a good twist to learn later that he tricked them to get the sisters back. But I felt like it didn't align with his, like, character. And I just was so confused.
I also want to call fucking missed opportunity for not having this black cat somehow in some way, in some form, be Binks or a relative of Binks. He had a cute name. His name was Cobweb, and that's great. But like, I'm upset about it. I needed more black cat in this movie.
I needed an English accent speaking cat so badly. I did not need Max. Okay,
No.
as we established in the first episode, go back to our first episode of Hocus Pocus. We don't need Max, we don't need his shoes, okay?
No.
We did miss Thora Birch, but I was okay with it. I was okay, I got it. She had to grow up and move on. I just feel like I was so with you. I wanted the cat to talk. I wanted the cat to be magical. I wanted the cat to do something.
Or like turn someone I thought they were going to turn Gilbert into a cat.
Oh.
And then they didn't fucking do it. And I was like, okay, well, guess we got to deal with Gilbert now.
Again,
so.
if Gilbert has a black cat, we need to talk to who are these writers? I'm becoming you.
2 men and a lady.
Who are these writers?
2 men and a lady. Are you surprised? Well, Bridge, we get a weird shaped candle that everybody hates, and we go to the woods as you do, and we light the candle. And at first, the candle just kind of goes out, and they're like, whatever. And then the candle's like, just kidding, motherfucker! And it literally is disco rave in the woods. Now, this is where for me, I started to get a little, like, eye-rolly because the movie began to do a lot of, like, self-aware, quotation mark, jokes that I was not feeling. Like, they were trying to be, like, scary movie, but I was like, but you're also taking yourself really seriously, so, like, you can't do both. Like, you gotta do one or the other.
Okay, so perfect.
Ugh.
The opening scene set the tone for this movie, alright? And it was some poor frickin' schmuck that sweat, blood, and tears made this, like, most beautiful aerial shot of woods and a bird flying and, like, everything. It looked like, what was the movie?
Lord of the Rings?
No, close, but the
with
one
the
that, like, Oprah was in,
Oprah? What the fuck was Oprah in?
It was like they go into this mystical world. They got $100 million budget.
It didn't do well at the box office. Mindy Kaling.
Mindy
God,
Kaling.
we all don't remember because it was bad. Wrinkle in Time remake.
Thank you. It had a Wrinkle in Time money budget behind the cinematography.
Yes.
And then all I wrote was, oh my God, it's so Disney. Like, then it became like, da-da-da-da-da-da, we're the sisters, we're back from Salem, and we were dead and now we aren't. And I was like, why?
That was not my problem. I didn't have a fucking problem with that. I was like, that's fine, you're fan service. What I had a fucking problem with is then when the 2 girls are running away, they go, who are they singing to? Like, as a joke. And like, no, okay? We're not doing those jokes. You are not doing those jokes. You're not allowed to sit here and make fun of the fucking movie that you're in because that's our job, okay?
Oh.
That's what I had an issue with. And they did a lot of that throughout this movie.
Listeners, I just want to set the scene right now because Katie has twisted her hair into imagine like a before infomercial to have like braided pigtails so that her hair looks beautiful
like
and rolling. And you literally look like you're from the 1600s.
Yes,
and when you get angry with pigtails, I cannot. It's so Helga from Hey Arnold. I cannot take it. It's amazing.
Football head. Wow.
But I now understand exactly what you're saying. It was like they were trying to be cool, and I didn't need that. I needed like Thora Birch, who like doubled down on her personality.
Yep. Well, Bridge, it's fucking fine because then they go to Walgreens. It's a Walgreens. I got it wrong twice.
I gotta read a line I have.
Oh, God.
At this point in the movie, which was post Walgreens, but I will say it's important to note. Okay. I said, it just seems like the women, specifically Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy, Bette Midler, were just happy to do this movie again and couldn't care care less if it was good.
I mean, I think I feel the same way.
That was the vibe. I think they were like, this is fun. And like, I feel like Sarah Jessica Parker's like, yo, everyone hates reboots. We shouldn't do it. Sex and the City was a bomb. And then she's like, but I'll try Hocus Pocus.
And then she's like, but we're going to do a season 2. Just like that. So don't worry, everyone. I'm in it.
Okay, wait. When they get to Walgreens, because the teenagers convince them that there's new age spells and they're in stores. And I will say, I did like this about the first movie and the second movie, that they were like, oh, new technology. Remember when they would like jump in the street and they thought it was a river in the first movie? I did laugh at them going through skincare lotion in Walgreens. When
Kathy Najimy ate the mask, I was like, that's also Hannibal Lecter. Shit, we got a lot of crossovers.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like in like 2040, people will go back in time and be like, damn, 2020 was like obsessed with skincare and like lotions. And they will reference this scene as memes, as people like eating it, because
probably
I just like the fact that they thought children were in it, so they were like eating it. I loved.
I thought it was funny, and then I was kind of like, okay, that's great. Like then I thought the girls were gonna get away, but something they didn't. Whatever. Oh, and this is where then other random girls come up and they're like, oh my god, it's the Sanderson Sisters. Yes, let's like take a photo. And you're like, what? Okay, well, that's weird, but let's do it. And then literally they like take a selfie and it's like a filter, and so they're like, we're beautiful. Like that, I was like, okay, that's clever. I like it. And then they turn and they look in the mirror up top, and then it's like warped, so they think they're ugly, and it's just.
I thought that was funny.
It was a lie, and then I kind of was like, okay, the girls are still in store. I'm not sure why we didn't leave yet, but plot. So yeah.
Yeah, they were very bad about running away.
Well, Bridget, it's fine because they have like salt. Like they're like salty bitches, so it's like salt is magic. Can you go to the witch store and can we get a confirm or deny about this salt stuff? Because I want to know.
I agree.
I want to know the strength of salt.
Yeah, I want to understand like the ingredients to deter black magic, and is it just truly, what's on your kitchen countertop? Because Morton salt sales should be through the roof if this is the case.
If I go get salty popcorn, can I like fuck around in the woods with a weird shaped candle and
Why
be okay?
Not?
I don't know. I don't know. We don't know.
That's a lot there, but we don't know.
Oh god. But okay, so this is also where they're like, oh my god, we gotta go get our book because we're over. This was the Disney part too, where I was like, why are you over killing kids? Like, you could still kill children. Like, that could still be the plot, but I felt like it was Disney, so they're like, no, that's like crazy. We're just gonna make them want to be like super powerful. And I was like, boo, that was fucking lame.
Okay, this is where I totally agree with you. In the first movie, it was like, we want to be beautiful and we want to live forever, so children will help us. And it was like superficial, and there was like all fucking white people in the movie because it was like 1993 and terrible back then.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, they're like, okay, we're gonna diversify it. We're gonna definitely add people that like aren't just white people, and we're not gonna be about superficial things like how we look. We're gonna be about power. And I was like, this is worse. It's totally worse.
I know.
I was like, this message is horrible. You start off by her saying, I don't have to get married, and then you end with her saying, but I want all the power in the world. I'm like, why can't she just want to live?
Yeah.
Where's the I live forever spell?
Why
Where's
can't
that?
we just want to hang out for a while? How about that?
All of you listening enjoy hanging with the sissies, and so does Winifred. Why do we gotta make it more complicated than that?
I don't. It's so lame, but they go to the witch store, which, fine. And this is where Gilbert's like, oh my god, yay, Sanderson. And you're like, Gilbert, again, fucking boo.
Oh, Gilbert.
Tells his, like, lame-ass backstory. Actually, I don't know if this is, like, right at this moment or if he does it later, but he goes, yeah, I was there the night the Sanderson Sisters came back, and it inspired me. I was like, oh, as a 10-year-old alone on Halloween, you're inspired by death and destruction? option? Were you? Because what about Binks the cat?
You know what?
Okay.
I'm just going to tell you right now.
I'm
just going to tell you right now. This whole movie being justice for Billy Butcherson, it should be justice for Gilbert's character. Because that actor is so freaking good. And he could have, like, bombed. He could have made it so bomb. And instead, he just had to deal with that garbage. And as usual, the Sanderson sisters come in. They take care of everyone. They throw the girls in the dungeon. They tell Gilbert, go do her dirty work because you're the idiot that brought us back. And I was like, you know what? Fair delegating, Winifred. I feel like she could do better than some CEOs these days.
She could be a middle manager.
No, Kate, she could be an upper management.
Damn,
all right?
girl!
Because she is after the power.
So this is where Book is like...
Now I want to talk about her shareholders, but I'll stop. Okay.
Oh my god. So this is where I felt Book got a little emotional.
Whoa, Book?
Book had one eyeball.
Kate, is there something about, like, if you're like chained up like Hannibal Lecter, then you get emotional more? Is there something to that?
No, but I have heard some fan theories. Ooh. Yes, there are fan theories about an inanimate object named Book with an eyeball. Heard some fan theories that Book was in love with Winifred. So that was like maybe part of the emotions where he was like, my love, oh my god, I can't make out with you. I don't have a mouth. If only she did a spell from my pages to turn me into a human, but
oh my god, right?
She didn't. But yeah. Also the book is made from human flesh. And Gilbert's like just chilling with it in the store all day. So
I really wanted to know. So okay, so Book was in love with Winifred. Okay.
That's a theory. It's a theory.
But I thought that he was more like, I felt like maybe he didn't want to be bossed around as much. Well, and he likes going to like new witches because they're appreciative, and maybe like he didn't feel as appreciated, and so he felt guilty, and that's why he cried. But because she just was not nice to him. I mean, he was like, hey man, no power spell, and she was like, I'm not listening to you. And I don't know, Kate, like in terms of like a supportive relationship, I feel like there has to be give and take, and like she just did a lot of giving. So like maybe he had to move on. Maybe he divorced her.
Well, emotions. What are you gonna do? You got one eyeball and it cried. So
I got one eye on you and it cried a lot.
It fucking cried.
I mean, he needed like fucking Visine. It was a lot of crying. That to the point that I was like, this book is crying again.
Book is upset.
Do you think one of the like people on the movie were like, this movie is so bad, let's just make Book cry, and then like smart people will understand that's how we feel about making this movie?
I think so. Because I was like, I get it.
Okay, let's like zoom through some things because Billy Butcherson in his head.
Okay. Well, okay, so now I have it here. The reason the reason Billy Butcherson is even in this fucking movie, aside from fan service, is because this power spell requires a couple fucking things. One of the things is the head from a lover or something. So Gilbert is then tasked to go get a bunch of shit, and then the witches are gonna go get the blood of an enemy, which to them, they're like, that's the mayor, who's the something relative of the Reverend, which I would not have made that connection. I would have been spinning in circles like, who's my fucking enemy? I just came back to life. Shit, I don't even know.
Kate, can I tell you, in the original Hocus Pocus, when they were doing spells, it was like, the tail of the rat's blood, tail of the rat's blood, the arm of a mouse, the arm of a mouse, the light from the cobweb, spider's butt, you know, and like, it was funny. And now we had to get like historical, I don't know, Kate.
You know what I thought the movie was gonna do? I thought the movie was gonna go in the direction of, yes, the mayor is related to the Reverend, but actually, he is the Reverend, and he's also a fucking witch. And then I thought it was gonna be a witch fight! But it fucking wasn't, because it was lame. So
no, it wasn't.
That would be awesome, though.
But I just this is the part where I fell asleep, because when I started to see Billy Butcherson, and then started to see how then the witches tranced everybody in the town of Salem, because they got on stage with drag queens pretending to be the Sanderson sisters, and then they lost while also singing, and then then everyone was under their spell. Kate, I'm sorry, but that's where my eyelids closed. And I said, I can't. And I said, I hope to God I don't need to ask Katie for her login again. And I waited till the morning. And I feel like people should maybe fast forward to that part because they were trying to match the original so much. I was like, there is no point to have the town under a trance to go and find the mayor, and then they find the mayor, and then they all leave him alone, and like we never go back to it. I hated it.
Yeah, they literally find the mayor, and he's like, "Woo, is this like a fucking what is this? Flash mob or dance mob? It's a mob." And then nothing happens. And you're like, I don't get it. But the movie made another fucking lame, like self-aware reference where the witches were like, "Why are they dancing so slowly?" And I was like, it's not funny when your scary movie as a serious movie. You figure out your tone. Book's over there crying. Okay, Cobweb's not a human or some bullshit. I'm upset about it. Gilbert has a lame ass hat. I'm upset.
I think the book personifies the cinematographer of this movie that did an A fucking plus job. And the writers were just like off at happy hour at 3 p.m. Okay.
In post, they were like, we're going to add a lot of tears to book. Even though that's not in the script, we're just going to put them in there.
They're like, is Book's eye glistening again? And they're like, shut up, Tony! I honestly felt like, okay, I'm going to come back in the morning. I turned the movie back on, and I was like, fresh eyes. I really didn't like it. I was like really mad at this movie. And I thought, okay, make it up to me. And I think the beginning of this movie and the end of this movie are good, and the middle is garbage.
Wait, I also want to bring up a part. Why did they have, again, to me, what felt like a fucking subplot of the mayor being obsessed with a candy apple? Bridge.
I fell asleep, Katie, because I didn't know what was happening.
Again, I was like, oh, he gets a candy apple every year, and the candy apple might be the witch crow lady, and that's why he's been alive for years and years since a minister. Like, y'all should have fucking hired me because I would have made this movie slap. And I would have made the witches sing I Put a Spell on You, and I'm so upset.
I am so mad they didn't say that.
What? I don't understand. They had the opportunity. I'm like, they're on stage. They didn't win, but like, they're gonna just take over. They got a band. Let's fucking do it. They didn't even do it. Why wouldn't you do that? I want that. That's all I know and love.
The amount of I don't give a shit in this writing.
Well, Bridge, Billy Butcherson, I also want to point out, did not have the same accent. And yes, I fucking noticed. And I don't understand the choice of that.
Wait, one thing though I'll give to Billy, and I'll give to Bette, because Bette Midler, how the frick old is Bette Midler?
She's like in her 70s, I think.
Oh my god, talk about skincare routine.
Yeah, talk about retinoid. Little girl named Retinoid, a retinol.
She is 76 years old, and she looked like she was a solid 50. And Billy Butcherson didn't age a wink. And I feel like
he's a zombie.
I mean, makeup Kate comes in all forms, but I feel like that was almost harder for me too, is the fact that they like looked exactly like the old movie and they wanted to mimic so many of the old movie's parts. So then I thought, well, I'm here for like the parts I loved, and then they didn't give it to me. So then I was even more mad about it. All fucking Gilbert had to do was go to Billy's grave, take a knife, slice his head off, and just bring him back to the witches. I'm sorry, but he's supposed to be a corpse, and all of a sudden he's alive, he's got character, we don't know the point, and now we gotta give a crap about poor Billy in the grave having kissed Winifred once, and now everyone thinks he's a cheater. I don't care!
That is a fucking good point. Why did he come back to life? Because in the first movie, she did a spell that brought him back to life. So if we're just making up shit as we go, we should have just had 40 Binks the cats for no reason. And then we should have had Jay and Ernie or Ice hanging out in the graveyard, and they should have fucking been there too. And I'm so upset by so many things, and I can't get over it.
All right, but Kate, let's fast forward through this and let's get to the end. Okay, we need part of the end which I loved, was the fact that they were like, all right, we're doing the power spell. And then the teenage girls are like, oh, this ain't good. This ain't good to have this power spell because, like, by the way, no one in this town has actually paid attention to the fact that, like, these people are back, but it's Salem and everyone's obsessed with witches. But okay, besides that fact.
Yeah.
As they try to stop them, Book, and this is when I think he decides to file for divorce, he is literally like, this isn't working. She's not listening to me. There's a warning label, Kate. You gotta read the fine print and divorces.
We learned that from Jumanji. Okay?
Absolutely.
If there's anything to learn, it's read words.
Yes. And part of it was if you have the spell, something gets taken away that you love. And what Book realized is I have to divorce Winifred before it becomes me. Before I'm the thing that she loves and what gets taken away.
He's like, then we're all fucked if I'm gone.
Exactly.
What's happening.
Self-preservation, hence the crying. But, my God, Winifred did whatever she wanted. And I feel like this was a good ending. Then the sisters get taken away from her. She's like, oh my God, I am nothing without my sisters, which here is the Oscar moment, Kate.
I got emotional.
Oh my God, I was like,
Book emotional level.
Bette fucking Midler. Like, I was like, you are so good. Yeah. 76 years old, and she's delivering, like, on Beach's level. And if people know, you know, okay?
Oh God.
And I feel like it was so good. And then the teenagers were like, oh my God, we'll try to help you. And then they help her. And the teenager Becca learning she's a witch too. I was just like, okay, whatever. But I think the whole point was to say, like, hey man, your sisters, your coven, that's what it's about. So even if you become the most powerful CEO, it doesn't mean anything without your sissies. Are you listening, sissies? Remember when I tried to make that a thing for a while? I kept calling you sissies, but nobody really caught on. I mean, I think it's cool, but you know. Okay. Yeah. But I thought the ending was beautiful because I thought, okay, Disney, way to fix some of the garbage, and I liked it. I was like, okay, that's fun.
I liked it too, and I also want to make a reference. I don't know who fucking says this, but somebody at some point said that they were the Gothic Golden Girls, and confirmation confirmed because I agree. And also, if they had a sitcom, I would watch it. Just every single plot of the Golden Girls, but with these three as witches. I think it'd be good. Oh my
God, it would be so freaking good.
Yeah. So, yeah. Then when he's like, all right, I guess I'll just, like, die, and then I'm with my sisters, and then everyone's like, yay. Again, like, first movie Winnie, I don't know. I'm not sure she would have gone out like that, but she went out like that.
I don't think she would have either.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been different. But Disney's like, but, like, family, even though, like, fuck moms. Now these three girls, I guess, are friends again, even though they could have always been friends. And, yeah, then I guess they were supposed to represent the Sanderson sisters, which I kind of fucking hated. How they were like, oh, we're gonna give Becca, who's got, like, you know, the natural hair, which is kind of curly, she's gonna be like Winifred. We're gonna give the other girl, Izzy, who's a little bit bigger, the stereotypical Kathy Najimy. Fuck off. We're gonna give Cassie, who had a boyfriend, the slutty one. I was like, fuck all of this. This is
Disney.
Fuck
patriarchy.
Fuck it.
Is so deep. They don't even know they're doing it, Kate.
Didn't even. I know. That's what makes me so annoyed. I was like, you fucking assholes. At least toss, like, Gilbert in there or someone so we don't make that connection. Please.
Disney, if you're listening, you have 2 for-hire writers ready to go. We have prepared. We know what to do.
But yeah, we'll do it.
We know what to do.
Magic candy apples. Who gives a fuck about candy apples if they're not magic? Nobody. All right. I don't know what you guys were thinking, but you guys were drunk at the bar. So
it's terrible.
Figure it out. Wow.
All in all, Kate, watch it or don't watch it, because that's a real serious question right there.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Say it.
If you've seen the first one, sure, very passive, watch this one, but I don't think you will ever watch it again. Because I honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't don't think I'm ever going to watch those again.
I'm never going to watch it again either.
I won't. But the first one, I watch every year. And I will probably continue. And it's got its own flaws, but like, yeah, I think they kind of did it a little better, that one.
They really did.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence of don't watch it.
Well, there was no Binks.
It's like Sex in the City. It's the Sex in the City reboot. The reboots need a check. It needs an editing process. Okay. Well, let us know. Okay, let us know. We hope we gave it justice.
Yeah, who liked it? Send us an email if you liked it.
Yeah, tell us we're wrong. We want to hear that.
I would like to hear your theories on Book. I would like to hear your theories on the phallic candle.
What about
not
Billy?
A lot of theories, but
anybody feel like Billy? We have a lot of male listeners that we don't actually want to listen, but you do. And what tell us, Billy? Like, have you ever felt like Billy Butcherson? Like,
yeah,
have you had a Winifred that ruined your life and cast a spell on you?
Even though, like, your life is a lot easier as a male, and, like, I'm sure everything was really great, but, like, that was the only hard thing you've ever experienced, so that's all you hang on to. You know what? Don't let us know, because we don't
actually,
care.
We're not going to read your shit, so sorry.
But, yeah, that's how we feel about that, so. Wow! Okay, well, listeners, there it is. That's October's Nostalgic Happy Hour. I don't know if we're happy, but we're here.
Let me tell you that I got a freaking movie for you.
Ooh!
Okay. This is my pick.
Oh,
no listener. No nothing. Okay.
I'm proud of you, Bridge.
And this is going to blow your goddamn mind, Kate.
Okay.
Because when we were younger, you loved this movie.
Oh my.
You loved it, and this is different.
Oh.
But boy, oh boy, Kate, it's 1993.
Oh! The best
year for movies! Are you ready for this description?
How have we not gone through all the 1993 movies? That's how good it is,
That's how
There's
frickin'
so fucking many.
This is an American British animated adventure comedy.
British animated? And I liked it?
You loved it.
British.
And there's only one way for me to do it, and I think it's to blow up this cover and share this screen. Are you ready?
I guess. Oh my god!
Steven Spielberg presents an adventure for the whole family. We're back. A dinosaur story.
First of fucking all, I have so many things that just popped in my brain. Number one, why the fuck is this a British movie? Because no one has a British accent, so get it out of my face because I remember. Number two, John Goodman. Fuck yes. Number three, our niece is in love with dinosaurs, and now I'm gonna have to show her this movie because I know that our brother's not gonna show it to her. Oh my god, I forgot about this movie.
Yep. How about this for nostalgic?
Bridge, I remember the song.
You were obsessed with this movie.
Everybody loves dinosaurs. So we had Jurassic Park. We're back. We got them.
This is Steven Spielberg's produced. Like, get out.
Wait, this movie's like kind of dark.
It is feels. This is a lot of feelings.
Like the song that he sings in the parade is in my brain.
Go.
Roll back the rock to dawn of time when earth's smoking and lava flow. And it's John Goodman singing, which you're like, fuck yeah, John Goodman, you're awesome. Bridge, good pick.
Obviously.
Wow. Well, Bridge, just want to say,
Winifred,
if we were gonna go celebrate your birthday in the woods, and we go to the witch's store near where you live, and one of the guys is like, take this weird candle that I made, I think I would politely pass. Or if they insisted, I would like chuck it in the lake. But yeah, because I love you. Also, the candle wouldn't work for us, so I guess like either way we Gucci.
I was just gonna say I have an actual child, which technically proves I'm not a virgin. Right. And I think if any candle makes you have to admit your sexual status, it's a candle to say no to.
That's like a Mean Girls candle. Yeah, like too much.
You know?
Yeah.
And the candle's like, what's your count? You know, and everyone's like 0, and it's like, light me. No thanks. Kate.
Yeah, Bridge.
If we were back in time and it was in the 1600s and someone forced you to get married and you're like, I don't want to, I would run to those woods.
Wow.
And I would hug book with you. And I'd be like, maybe though, like, we should just not eat children.
Yeah, that's fair. You do gotta wonder when they started eating children. Because they were like...
It's a question. It's a good question.
It's like an ethical. They should talk about that in ethics courses in college. Okay, listeners, if you also would like to be a witch, because that's fucking cool, but you don't want to eat children, and if you think that phallic candles from strange men are inappropriate, Disney, you missed that, and I am confused. You should write us a review.
Yes, definitely.
We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. Listeners, it's a sad day for me. I don't know about Bridge, but it's sad for me. We're moving out of Spoopy Scary. We're done. We're done with the spoops until Katie force feeds a spoop episode because Bridget will never pick it.
I'll never pick it.
And yeah, but listen, if you want to give a movie request, you can do that on our website. We have a form you can fill out, so you can go in there. It could be any movie you like. We have
Anything.
a list.
We'll do it.
And, we kind of go through the list every now and then. We just do what we feel, kind of like Book and his eyeball tears. That's us. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can buy us coffee. Coffee means money. Money means making sure you get a candle that's appropriate.
Yes.
If you're saying, I don't want a candle, I just want, I don't know, like other things, like a t-shirt or a funny tote bag, go to our merchandise section. Because if you listen to the Casper episode and you understand what a dyslexic Dalmatian fund is,
gotta donate, guys.
Do not buy our tote bag. You are Billy Butcherson worthy terrible. Because it is so freaking perfect. Get on there and put it in your cart. Let's do it.
Woo! Yes, so check all that out, listeners, and we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for We're Back! Roll back the rock to donut time. Smoking in a loud flow. Nobody talks in a British accent. I'm not sure why it's called British.
Steven
Spielberg. It's really dark.
Ooh.
There is a death count in this movie. That's all I got.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye. Sisters.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things Sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.